butterfly effect was a term coined in 1972 in relation to chaos theory, the phenomenon whereby a minute localized change in a complex system can have large effects elsewhere. And that's how we live, day in and day out, slowly affecting the lives of everyone around us. Anything and everything we do or say causes something to happen elsewhere because of it. This makes us think, if we did something so small, so minuscule, that we don't even notice it ourselves, how could it become a tragedy for someone else? An example the effect uses is that whenever a butterfly flaps its wings in Chicago, all the events cascade into each other to create a tornado in Tokyo. So anything we do now, no matter how insignificant it is to us, could cause a nightmare for someone else. Which means this, if we keep walking around life unconscious of our decisions, what kind of world are we creating for ourselves to fall into? Now let's look at an example of this.
This is Sawyer. He's just like everyone else, just a regular guy. He reads, he plays games, and he likes to go on walks. See, there's nothing special about Sawyer here that could create issues in someone else's life intentionally. Except one day, Sawyer decided to take a different route on his walk. As he walked, he found a phone and picked it up intrigued, and kept walking. But let's come back to Sawyer. This is Cole. Cole loves basketball. It's his life. Cole started playing when he was 4 and hasn't stopped since. He's been extremely happy recently because he found out that he's gotten a full-ride scholarship for basketball to his favorite college. This was a big deal. Basketball was all he cared about. That's what he was going to do for the rest of his life. So Cole finished up his daily practice, packed up his bag, and started going home when suddenly, he got hit by a car. Now let's introduce somebody else. This is Aiden. Every day, Aiden exercises, runs, and stretches. Aiden really enjoys fitness and loves his music even more. Like clockwork, Aiden goes for a run and puts in his music every day on the hour. But unfortunately, one day, he forgot his earbuds at home. So without music, he put his phone in his pocket and started his run. It wasn't long before Aiden's phone fell out of his pocket and fell on the ground. Except Aiden didn't realize it had fallen and continued his run. When Aiden got to the river, he noticed with fear that his phone was no longer in his pocket. So he sprinted back to where he started in a panic. He had remembered that that's where he had last seen his phone. And when he got there, Aiden's phone was gone. So he hopped in his car and started driving home in case his phone was there, when suddenly, he hit someone. So what have we learned from this? If Sawyer didn't take a different route on his walk that day, then he wouldn't have found Aiden's phone. If he hadn't have found Aiden's phone, then he wouldn't have picked it up and walked away. If Sawyer wouldn't have picked up Aiden's phone, then Aiden would have found his phone. However, since Aiden hadn't found his phone, he got in his car to drive home and hit Cole coming out of practice. And that's how we live our lives. 24 hours a day, making decisions that seem so small and puny to us, yet they could create catastrophes in someone else's life. And we will keep living these butterfly effect styles until the last butterfly is gone.